How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. First is not always the best. Oh, yes, yes, yes. That is a true statement, my royal family. And y'all know I often repeat thyself over here on the True Royal Family and True Royal. So there's been a lot of stuff happening in the universe. And right now here in America, most of our energy is focused on Trump's shenanigans. Well, I'm going to point out something, my royal family, that I've been meditating on and thinking about pretty much since last night and today. But before we get deeper into it, I want y'all to keep some things in mind. Okay, so yesterday was the 6th. And I said, I wonder what do 6 mean in the word. In the Bible, the number 6 symbolizes man and human weakness, the evils of Satan, and the manifestation of sin. Man was created on the 6th day. All right, let's leave it right there. Let's go back. In the Bible, the number 6 symbolizes man and human weakness, the evils of Satan and the manifestations, oh my goodness, I'm jacking it up, of sin. But then I jumped down and something caught my eye. And it said here, so bringing together 3 6s is the number, which we know, in the mark of the end times beast. Now, I've heard mark of the beast, but I can't recall offhand mark of the end time beast of Revelations. As such, it represents the very best system of governance that mankind can produce without Yah and under constant influence of his chief adversary. And an adversary would be the enemy, your enemy. But what caught me here is it represents the very best system of governance that mankind can produce. Mankind without Yah and under. What is it under? What is it under? What influence it? The enemy. So my interpretation, along with the number 6, the mark of, is the very best system of governance. That is deep. And I remember thinking a while back, not a long while back, that this is as far as Esau can elevate. They have hit their pinnacle. And we are seeing the manifestation. Did I get it out right? Of sin. But again, 6 symbolize man and human weakness. And what have we been watching here in America? What is going down with the government, the democracy, the democratic system? So they eking out their very best system of governments that mankind can produce without Yah. And then it's under a constant negativity, the influence of the chief adversary. So that's just something to keep in mind. Because, I was just wondering, and I had to see for thyself. Now, maybe y'all can come up with some other interpretations. Y'all know I'm not fluent in the word, so I know my Bible scholar is going to come out. But let's focus on first. It will speak for thyself what I'm going to present to the royal family. So let's get into some things here. Let's go on this journey.
Trump incites mob was the headline in today's New York Times. The Washington Post, meanwhile, comes in with Trump mob storms Capitol. And that pretty much captures how it went here yesterday in the waning days of President Trump's term. As the House and Senate were inside counting electoral votes, thousands of supporters of the president smashed their way into the building behind me, forcing lawmakers into shelter and pretty much having their way with the Capitol building until law enforcement could retake it. 4 people died, including one who was shot by Capitol Police. And I do not say the following lightly. President Trump inspired this violence through his false claims of election fraud, including at a rally here yesterday. In a statement this morning, he is promising a, quote, orderly transition. However, he continues to falsely claim the election was stolen. And CBS News has learned some members of his cabinet have discussed invoking the 25th Amendment to remove him from office. Chris Van Cleave was at the Capitol yesterday, and this morning he is about 14 blocks up from my location on Pennsylvania Avenue, between the White House and the Capitol building where I'm standing. Chris, good morning to you. You were covering this from early to late. What's the scene there now?
Tony, there is a bitter breeze this morning and an icy quiet. Now, that's very different than the chilling scenes we saw yesterday as the Capitol, one of the symbols of American democracy, essentially came under attack as tens of thousands of Trump supporters descended upon it, egged on by the president and his baseless claims of election fraud, as those supporters of the president tried to bring their message directly to Congress.
We're willing to risk our lives!
In extraordinary hours of chaos in the Capitol, angry supporters of President Trump breached the branch of government set to put the final seal on his November election loss.
Stand in recess until the call of the chair.
Both houses of Congress were in session as violent protesters smashed and bashed their way in, ripping off heavily fortified doors and climbing through windows. Vice President Pence and all 100 senators were whisked to safety as members of the mob pushed back police, clashing in the Capitol, armed with anything they could find. Then entering an inner sanctum of the U.S. government, not open to the public since before the pandemic, posing for pictures on the abandoned Senate dais, and with feet on a desk in the office of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, leaving this note, "We will not back down."
Everybody stay down! Get down!
Huddled in the House chamber, members of Congress hid anywhere they could.
Shots are being fired inside the Capitol chamber. Checked to make sure the doors that were near me were locked. I checked them. I started to leave the chamber and started to hear pop, pop, pop.
New York Congressman Tom Suozzi captured the chaos on his cell phone.
Just evacuated from the chambers. These are people who would have been detained. I saw dozens of Capitol Police with their weapons drawn, guns trained on the door.
Armed officers held off an angry mob behind this barricaded door from reaching the House floor. When a woman tried to climb through a window, police fired. Air Force veteran Ashley Babbitt, wrapped in a Trump flag, fell to the floor and later died. Just a day earlier, Babbitt tweeted, "Nothing will stop us." 3 others died of medical emergencies on the Capitol grounds. Outside, hundreds scaled the scaffolding set up for President-elect Biden's inauguration and unfurled Trump flags. The assault on the Capitol started only about an hour after President Trump urged supporters to march to the Capitol at his Save America rally.
You'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Eventually, tactical teams repelled the rioters from the Capitol, though only dozens were arrested.
You got into the Capitol.
I was on the front line.
Boyd Camper told us he made it to the Capitol Rotunda.
We're going to take this damn place. If you haven't heard, it's called the Insurrection Act, and we, the people, are ready.
Those images are just still unbelievable. Now, the bomb squad was called to the Republican National Committee headquarters, which isn't very far from the Capitol yesterday, because 2 devices that looked to be pipe bombs were found outside the building. Also nearby was a vehicle with ammunition, firearms, and apparent bomb-making materials. Now, the FBI has launched a website. They are asking people to send pictures and video as they try to find the people responsible for the violence yesterday. And Tony, it is hard to think about a protest in Washington. I've covered so many of these. There are big questions here. Where was the police presence earlier in the day? And, 4 people lost their lives protesting what was essentially a procedural process inside the Capitol. It was not really lawmaking, anything but process.
Tony? It's typically a formality, and we will get to those questions later in the show. Chris Van Cleve for us as Dawn breaks over his shoulder there.
All right, my royal family, let me shut that down. Let me shut that down. So it's good to get a synopsis and go over some things, but, I got some sweet, extra juicy nuggets. So, 4 people lost their lives, which is tragic. And, haven't heard the names of the people, the other 3 people, but we know of one. And here she is. Bobbitt. Ashley Bobbitt. B-A-B-B-I-T-T. Bobbitt. Bit. So, she lost her life. Being gun-ho, wanting to be first, and all those things. Remember what I said, my royal family. Remember what it's been, probably almost 4 years now. I keep repeating the same thing over and over about Esau's woman wanting to be the first. Is it always good to be the first? Was it worth it? Was it really worth it? So I got curious. I wanted to know more about, or somewhat about, who is this person? Well, let's continue on.
So we want to talk more about the rioter who was shot and killed by a Capitol police officer while storming the Capitol. Tonight we have confirmed that she was from here in San Diego.
NBC7's Omari Fleming has been looking into this for us, investigating it, and he spoke with her family tonight.
Ashley Babbitt lived right here in Ocean Beach with her husband, and while family says he stayed here, they say she flew to Washington, D.C. to be a part of the march for President Donald Trump.
Pictured in a signature Make America Great Again hat, family says Ashley Babbitt was an Air Force veteran and staunch Donald Trump supporter. Her Twitter post dated January 5th reads, "Nothing will stop us. They can try and try and try. But the storm is here and it's descending upon D.C. in less than 24 hours. Dark to light." According to Ashley's brother-in-law, though D.C. Metro Police did not tell him exactly what happened, he says they did confirm his 35-year-old sister-in-law from Ocean Beach was the woman shot and killed when Trump supporters stormed the Capitol, trying to bash their way through a door into the House chambers.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun!
The sight of a gun triggered some rioters to stop the violence, but to the far right of the screen, a woman tries to climb through that broken glass.
Ooh, shit.
Ashley's brother-in-law, Justin Jackson, issued this statement. Ashley was both loyal and extremely passionate about what she believed in. She loved this country and felt honored to have served in our armed forces. Please keep her family in your thoughts and respect their privacy during this time. According to online records, Babbitt and her husband owned a Spring Valley pool service company. Her Twitter account is filled with posts about political issues. They even show her attending recent Trump events in San Diego. Now the San Diego woman, whose family says she served her country with multiple tours in Iraq, died during this insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Omari Fleming, NBC7.
It's nothing honorable about these whole shenanigans, all of this shit that's going down. It's nothing honorable in it. But being gun-ho, sometimes you can speak your death. And that's tragic. And all of this hyperbia. I mean, the last 4 years have been nasty when it comes to the government. As such, it represents the very best system of governance that mankind can produce without, because I have said this more than once. I'm sort of a history buff, and damn near every kingdom has died the same way. Stop believing in the Creator. All of a sudden, whoever is the leadership have a godlike complex. And they basically eat within thyself. And let's keep in mind, this is the best. Think about what I'm saying, my royal family. This is the best. This is as high as they can elevate in their kingdom. I never forget my grandfather saying to me in history, he told me this in the 80s, the mid-80s. He said, when it's said and done in America, it will be the shortest, dumbest empire that ever reigned the earth. I didn't get it then. I was really, really young, in my 20s. Okay, I got some time on me now, and I can clearly see what my grandfather was talking about. So I got a couple of little nuggets here. So let's get deeper into, who is this Bobbitt? She was a married woman. Now her family has to deal with her choices, and there's consequences, negative and positive. What do she really think that she accomplished? I'm going to climb through that window. Bop! That's sad. But let's see what's really going on with her. Check this out. We'll get into this first one.
I'm driving right now, but I'm like really heated all of a sudden. I'm like sitting here thinking, I'm like going to the office. Okay, Maxine Waters talking about, I am so sick of these politicians in this goddamn state. I can't take it anymore. They're all worried about what Trump is doing. How about we worry about what the hell you're doing? What have you done? Maxine Waters, what have you done? You're talking about, this thing on the border is a political ploy that Trump's done. Where are you? You're not even here. You're talking all this crap up north in your district. Why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit that's going on there? You are a complete... I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell are you doing? Duncan Hunter, where are you? I'm not in your district anymore, but I grew up in Lakeside, man. You're letting all that El Monte stuff happen, all this stuff at the border. Where is everybody? Huh? Where?
All right.
I'm driving right now.
So, we get a sample of, I got some more to present to the royal family. So we see that she's quite aggressive. Let's not lose sight that she was in the military for 14 years. So, she feels patriotic and emboldened. In fact, when she went to D.C., left California, went to D.C., she went by herself. She left her man. She said, I gotta go. I gotta go out here and do Trump's bidding. Now you're gonna be 6 feet under. And all this intensity. What did you accomplish wanting to be first? As we continue on my royal family, we're gonna go a little deeper. Let's see here. Let's refresh this here. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we got that one. Got that one. Oh, here we go. I'll get a little bit deeper. See what's going on here.
Stuff at the board. Where is everybody? Huh? Huh? You got where is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this migrant caravan. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the border. You people can't get to work. Our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party. Well, I am so tired of it. You try to make it with these wide-angle lenses, and you try to make it that your echo chambers have these large followings. You got 40 people showing up, and you want to do a headline with CNN talking about, oh, we got massive protests for Trump shutting the borders down. No, we do not. No, we do not. What we do have is a massive amount of pissed off people like I am because you guys will not sit down and do your jobs. California is suffering. Our homeless problem is out of control. Our drugs are out of control. When you have to have a budget to clean up human fecal matter off the roads, that is a problem, okay? This is absolutely insane. The meth problem, the fentanyl problem, the heroin problem, the illegal this is crazy, okay? Like, well, everybody wants immigration, but we need to do it the right and correct way. This is getting out of control, and you guys are lying. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? And why are you so worried about what everybody else is doing? I want to talk about what you're doing. Like I said, you can consider yourself put on notice. Me and the American people. I am so tired of this. I am woke, man. This is absolutely unbelievable. Get your shit together. Thank you.
Okay. Well, she had plenty to say. Believe it or not, a lot of the things she said was true, real, and correct, and I agree. But why would you put yourself in such a state? What did you accomplish? All right? What did you truly accomplish? Do you think things gonna change because you shedded some blood and you were hell-bent on being first? It's not always best. You get yourself worked up on stuff. And we don't need to get caught up like that, my royal family. I always talk about our immediate situation. You know, collectively, what you got to deal with, the people that you can collectively touch in the house. You know, maintain your castle. But you can get so mixed up in other people's shit. You can shed blood. Was it worth it? So her family, they grieving, her husband, and all of that. I mean, I have not seen such atrocious shit like this. This is, again, as high as Esau can elevate. They're frustrated with the government like the rest of us. And so they run haphazardly through there and do what the fuck they want. Now, the after effects. They want to do things kind of behind the scenes. You know, when it's us, they parading us around. But the question that I asked, was it worth it? And let's not lose sight. I learned more about the number 6. Again, in the Bible, the number 6 symbolized man and human weakness. Well, we see a lot of that with Trump. We see a lot of that with Esau's woman. She wants the throne. And she don't want to submit. It's a married woman. She don't want to submit. And my queens, the ones that are married, submitting has nothing to do how Becky or the feminists look at it. Look at it spiritually. Remember that your king got to submit too as well. So we don't want to get caught up, all right? We don't want to get caught up like that. But I know in her heart, because I seen the graphic, and she was still living at that time. I wonder, was she processing that or just, drifting? So was it really worth it? And let's not lose sight of this last part. It represents the very best system of governance that mankind can produce without Yah. I need Yah every millisecond. I'm gonna always remain humble. I'm not a proud person. I can disappoint you. We can disappoint each other, but we can't do this without each other. But was it really worth it, Becky? Was it really worth it? First is not always the best. Sometimes you got to know when to make that move. Continue to pray. Continue to pray, meditate, and listen to the universe. Don't be sitting up here trying to be gun-ho. There's nothing wrong with being in a woman's place. It's a beautiful thing being a woman. But we got some sisters that get caught up like this. No, it wasn't worth it to do that for Trump. And let's not lose sight. This is as high as they can elevate within their government, within their system. They set this all up for them. But it ain't working out quite right. And that's a shameful thing. When you see folks sitting up here dying, here's this woman right here. This is not a graphic picture. Yeah, she was slipping there, That's a really sad thing. So I wanted to present this to the royal family, Remember what the Creator told me. He said that she would be the first to get my wrath. And that does not exclude her man because he upheld her shit. Ponder that, my royal family. So do what you do, my royal family. Render your voice with your beautiful, divine words. And it's always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.